You're watching Back Pages tonight. Welcome back to Mark Ogden, senior writer for ESPN, and Martin Ziegler, chief sports reporter for The Times. Let's get straight to the Scottish Daily Mail. They've gone with the headline, "Up and Running. Scots off to a positive start on road to World Cup." It was a tough performance to start for Scotland, away at Denmark, Mark. But is a point a good result for them?
It's a great result. I mean, it's a 14 group, so I think they've got Greece and Belarus also in the group. So it's a group that Scotland can qualify from. It's, obviously I think Greece are probably the slight favourites. They've got a team that has won quite convincingly against Belarus tonight, and think Scotland play Belarus next. But to go to Denmark, who are a regular qualifier at major tournaments, and come away with the point is a very good result. But obviously Scotland have to back it up, and there's a real opportunity at the moment for all four home nations to qualify for the World Cup, which hasn't happened for, probably over 60, 70 years. I think Wales are top of their group. Northern Ireland won last night. They've got Germany away in Cologne next week. So there is a real opportunity for these nations to build on the good starts. But for Scotland, 0-0 draw in Denmark, game against Belarus to come. They've got a very good chance of qualifying, and this result tonight will help them. Yeah,
what do you make of the chances of getting to a first World Cup finals, Martin, since 1998?
Well, it's a 48-team World Cup this time next year for the first time, up from 32. I think it's like at least 4 European places extra. So there is more opportunity to do so. And I think this was a really important point for Scotland. Denmark were the top seeds in the group. As Mark mentioned, Greece are very, very strong. They've got some terrific young players. 17-year-old Kostas Karetsa scored tonight, got an assist. I think he looks a really great player. So Scotland will have it all to do against Greece as well. But, what a great start for their campaign.
And some good performances, particularly from the likes of Scott McTominay, Mark.
Yeah, listen, Scott McTominay's become a major player now. I think that the Scots have taken a lot of pride from the fact that he's gone to Napoli and had a great season, been nominated for the Ballon d'Or.
He's a cult hero in Italy.
Exactly, yeah, and I think, but I think Scotland are building off the back of that. I think that it's given them the confidence that they are now producing players that can compete at the top level. Certainly in recent years, Scotland have struggled to produce that kind of player, but Scott McTominay is now leading that line of players that are going to the major leagues in Europe and thriving. So Scott McTominay can. Andy Robertson is another one who's done really well at Liverpool, as we know. I think Scotland have got a good crop of players that this.
Never given the sort of freedom that he has at Napoli, where he's been creating goals and scoring goals for fun. He never quite seemed to have, perhaps he didn't have the service or didn't have the players around him or didn't play in the right position. But I don't think that was anything to do with him. I just think it was the circumstances.
Would he have been a Ruben Amorim-style player, Mark, McTominay?
Well, to Martin's point, obviously Bruno Fernandes plays in that more advanced role, and we know that Bruno Fernandes plays all the time. He's never injured, he never misses games. So I think that was a problem for Scott at the time. But I think obviously what Man United lack right now is legs and energy in midfield, and Scott McTominay gives that in abundance. So I think he could have been a Ruben Amorim player. It's a shame that United let him go for £25 million. It seems like a bit of a bargain for Napoli, but that's Man United in recent years. They've made some bad decisions, incomings and outgoings. But yeah, they would have been a better team with Scott McTominay for sure.
OK, let's move on, gents. I'm going to say it, the I word, Isak. We're still talking about him. Dan Burn, his former teammate at Newcastle, has been speaking to the media on England duty. He says that Isak didn't burn his bridges with Powers, as you can see there in the mirror, and that he's still best of mates with Alexander Isak, despite his move to Liverpool and all that went down. Martin, what do you make of this? I think it's a sense that he understands, Dan Burn, how the fans are feeling of Newcastle, but it isn't necessarily how his former Newcastle teammates are feeling.
Yeah, I think it was a sort of very diplomatic response by Dan Burn when he was asked about this. He's not going to have a big go at his former teammate. I think there's a sort of players' code that you don't sort of do that when it comes to sort of transfer moves. What he really thinks, maybe this is what he really thinks. But I think it's...
Soon. Mark, is Dan Burn being honest or diplomatic?
I think he's being honest, I think footballers are more pragmatic than supporters, and Dan Burn knows the flip side of the coin. I think he was released by Fulham a few years ago and was without a club, so he knows that clubs can be as ruthless with players as players can be in this situation with Isak. So obviously he would want Isak in the same team, but he knows that football is a business, Alexander Isak isn't a Newcastle fan. He's a footballer that wants to play for the biggest clubs, win the biggest trophies. So, yeah, I think he's being honest. I think he's just saying as it is. It's how footballers think. They don't have the same emotional ties that fans have. I mean, I know Dan Burn's a Newcastle fan, but he's a player and he knows the game.
OK, let's move on then to the WSL. The new season is up and running, as are the reigning champions at Chelsea. New season, same ruthless Chelsea, they say in The Guardian. What a performance this was, Martin. And they will be favourites again, Chelsea, to go on and win it for yet another time in the WSL, won't they?
Yeah, 6 in a row, I think it is now.
I've lost count. Yes.
Yeah. And they've strengthened their squad. We'd seen Arsenal had signed Olivia Smith for £1 million, a new record. That was swiftly broken by Chelsea. But when they got Alyssa Thompson from Angel City. Yep. But, is Arsenal, though, champions of Europe, they'll have something to say about this new season. But it's a very good start because Manchester City are also one of their top rivals. So they will be very, very pleased to get this season up and running like this. Yeah,
they look good, Mark.
Yeah, Chelsea are the dominant force. I know, like Martin says, Arsenal won the Champions League last year, and that gives Arsenal hope that they can, I guess, break Chelsea's run. It's a strange situation right now. I mean, I'm going to the United-Leicester game on Sunday, the opening game at United. So it'd be interesting to see how they perform because obviously they've swapped players with Man City this week with, Grace Clinton going to City, and I think it's an interesting time. But they're all chasing Chelsea. Chelsea are the best team. They have the best resources. They have the best coach. They have the best players. But Arsenal proved last season that they don't win all the trophies. So maybe Arsenal can push Chelsea and win the WSL this time.
And Martin, I suppose what the WSL Chiefs will be hoping is that off the back of that Lionesses' success yet again in Europe, that increased coverage, increased exposure and increased fandom of the WSL. Do you think we'll see that this season?
Yeah, because we saw that when they won the Euros the first time. So almost certainly you're going to have another bounce. I'm also quite interested that there's the team London City Lionesses, which have been promoted. I think they could spring a few surprises. They've also signed a player for more than £1 million. So that's a statement of intent for them too. So let's see how things turn out. But I'm sure we're going to see big crowds, bigger than we had last season. Again, because of the Euro success. I think Arsenal, I'm saying they've sold something like 17,000 season tickets for the Emirates.
Going to have to leave it there, Martin. Sorry to interrupt you. Time has got against us. Thank you so much for coming, Mark and Martin. Coming up next, more on the US Open and Carlos Alcaraz.